Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to say goodbye to our friend Micro Four Thirds, who has... Oh, he hasn't gone. He's still alive. Oh, great. Roll titles. Well, hello everybody, Micro Four Thirds guy here once again, Brian James. Great to see you. It's been an interesting couple of years insofar as Micro Four Thirds has been concerned. About 2 years ago I saw the reports coming off saying that Micro Four Thirds as a format was dead. We all know who the naysayers are, but it seemed in the last 6 months to a year that may be the truth. We've seen the demise of Olympus as being a camera manufacturer and going on to do other things, for the business to be sold off to another company for OM Digital Solutions to come into existence. We didn't know what was going to happen to the Micro Four Thirds format from them. We didn't know what was going to happen to Olympus as a brand. And also, of course, a couple of years ago we got Lumix bring out their full frame S-series format. Was that the end of Micro Four Thirds for them? There was a lot of speculation and a lot of people who were saying that it was the end of Micro Four Thirds. Now, if you really want to know what I think about Micro Four Thirds, keep watching, because I'm going to tell you my true views as we go through. But before that, if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, click below, join up, hit the subscribe button. It's totally free to do, and join our little crowd of over 2,300 people now who are subscribers to the channel, our little group. Really nice people to be a part of the team, so come along and join us. If you do, hit the notification bell beside it, and that'll send you a notification every time I upload a new video. And also, if you enjoy this, give us a thumbs up and a like, because that gets YouTube to spread the video so more people get to see it and more people get to give their opinion. Speaking of opinions, if you want to leave a comment below, I'd love to see what your comments are on this. Now, this has been a bit of a hot potato for a little while, but there is a saying in the English language, and something which is proclaimed every time one of our monarchs dies. The king is dead, long live the king. Well, is Micro Four Thirds format dead? Possibly yes. Possibly the Micro Four Thirds format as we've known it is dead. But the death of one, in the same way as when the king dies, there's always a new king to take over. And we'll still have that succession. And I think, yes, Micro Four Thirds in its older formats possibly has died away. We've come away from 12 megapixel sensors up to 16, then 20 megapixel sensors. We've come away from basically very small pocket cameras up to some incredibly complex professional models. I shoot with an OMD EM1 and also a Lumix G9. Absolutely top of the field, top of the class in that. But we've seen commitment, both Lumix and Olympus, in the last couple of weeks, which really has told me that although the king might be dead, the new king has taken over properly. We've seen the CEO of Lumix come out and make public statement that Micro Four Thirds has full support. Not only that, they brought out the GH5 Mark II, which is a nice update to the current GH5. I know that some people have been a little bit disappointed just seeing that it's a Mark II. I actually think it's a really good thing. We see facelifts of all sorts of other things. Cars. We see facelifts of car models all the time to give slightly better quality and slightly better features for a similar sort of price point. That's what they seem to have done on the GH5 Mark II. But they made a commitment to doing the GH6 at the end of this year. Now, that to me is going to be a major step. It could have some fantastic features on it, and I think that shows a real commitment by Lumix to the future Micro Four Thirds. Thumbs up on their behalf, I say. But I've been a little bit worried about Olympus. Is the Olympus name going to go? Are they going to stop producing cameras altogether? Are OM Digital Systems going to be just a takeover company just to sell them off and strip the assets? It's been a major worry. Are we going to get support for the cameras that we have bought? And now is it worth buying a new camera from in the future? Well, today, or at least yesterday, I saw a couple of major announcements which really warmed my heart. One was the new lens, the 8 to 25mm Pro lens, which I think is it's a fantastic range of lens to have. It's a really usable range, taking you from a very wide angle lens all the way up to usable lens as a 50mm equivalent. It's built to the same standards as all the rest of the Olympus Pro lenses are, and they are outstanding. They really are outstanding lenses. So that really warmed my heart. But the other one I saw was the EP7, which has just been announced. And that took me by surprise. The EP7, it's basically an entry-level camera, which although it's good quality, it doesn't have a viewfinder. It has a flash. You can only use the back screen. There is no electronic viewfinder available for it, and it's also made out of the same plastic that the EM5 Mark III is made out of, which hasn't proved popular to a lot of people. So was that a good move? And at first I thought maybe not, but the more I thought about it, I thought yes. We've said the king is dead, long live the king. Well, Micro Four Thirds as was is dead. The old days of Olympus producing cameras have gone. We now have a new owner of the company. But one of the things that really did warm my heart was the fact that on both of those products you've got the name Olympus proudly emblazoned on it. It's not causing confusion. And what I'm hearing is that there is, for servicing wise, all the servicing commitments are being seriously looked after, because Olympus very much do look towards professional shooters as well, and when you've got a professional system you want professional support, and I'm hearing good things on that. I really am. But to see a camera which is hitting the entry level and a lens which is hitting the pro level, the opposite extremes of the range, I think is superb. Now remember, I use an old GX1, which very similar. It's an ideal pocket camera. It doesn't have a viewfinder as such, it's just got the back screen. But I can put any of my pro level lenses, my pro range lenses, onto that little camera, and it takes me to where I need it to be. We've gone through all the different sort of lens, all the different sort of standards, all the way through from 12 megapixel, 16 megapixel, 20 megapixel. What does the future hold? You know, we've got far better autofocusing in IBIS than we've ever expected from these cameras when we first got into these in the early days. I started off with a GX1 and also with an EM5 Mark I, and the difference between those two cameras and what we have now is astounding. The idea that they have an entry-level camera, I think, really puts it back into the area of the entry-level photographer. Somebody who's coming into this level, maybe away from mobile phones, maybe to get their first decent small SLR type camera with the removable lenses rather than a bridge camera or something like that. This is a really positive, I think, this is a really positive move by Olympus, by OMD Systems. I think that if they can carry on in this format, I think we've got a rosy future. What do you think? Leave your comments below. I really am interested in hearing your comments, because obviously I've put a lot of commitment into this system. I know a lot of you have, and I think that we have a good future on this. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying in any way, shape or form that aps-c or full frame or even medium format is dead and we shouldn't go to that. If those cameras fit your needs, please go down those routes, you know. But for me, the Micro Four Thirds format is absolutely superb. And to use something like the EP7, where it's going to be fitting in your pocket, where you've got a huge range of lenses without having to go out and buy a new system, is amazing. I used to be a Canon shooter. There is nothing which takes me from an entry-level pocket type camera where I can use all of my glass up to the best maximum possible system that we have in those ranges. If you want a pocket camera from them, you're not going to get it from any of the pro level lenses in there. Whereas with Micro Four Thirds, I've got a real pocket camera and I can take it up to the maximum lens that we can get on that. So is it dead? I don't believe so. I think it's a really good place to be. We've seen, as I say, the managing director of Lumix, the chief executive of Lumix, coming out and giving a huge commitment towards the GS5 Mark II, so the GH5 Mark II, and a huge commitment to the GH6 later on in the year. We've now seen commitment not only from the Olympus for what they've just released in the last couple of days, but also with the 100 to 400 lens, which is really sitting in the high end of things, and the 45 to 150 Pro lenses. They are real class leaders, and they've came out recently and they're going to be supported and they're going to be moving forward. So I see the future being really, really rosy on Micro Four Thirds format. So as I say, what do you think? I really am interested in your comments. Leave your comments below. So do I have to change my name? Is the Micro Four Thirds guy dead? No, not in the least bit. I believe Micro Four Thirds system is still there, still current and still moving forwards, and that to me is more important than anything else. Whatever happens, leave your comments below. I really do appreciate your comments. It's good to hear the differences in opinion on those things. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell beside it to get notifications every time I upload a new video. Don't forget also, give me a big thumbs up and a like, because what those thumbs up do is really important, because that gets YouTube's algorithms to spread these videos to more and more people so that they can see how good or bad Micro Four Thirds system really is. And if you do enjoy it, there's a PayPal link below. Buy me a cup of coffee on that, and I'd really appreciate it. Until the next time, keep on taking your camera out, whether it's Micro Four Thirds, aps-c, full frame, medium format, film, digital, even if it's a mobile phone. Take it out, take some photographs, enjoy your photography, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.